Everyone, welcome to the Healing Corner. I'm Deb here with Deb's Healing Cornerstone Intuitive and Healing is Work with Coach Yam. She will be getting on here soon. What we're going to do, y'all, is we're going to go ahead and finish off the questions from 2 weeks ago. We're going to go ahead and get those answered. Also, if you do have any questions that you would like to submit, or if you would like to be featured here on the live with us and chat it up, make sure that you hit that link there in the description box and go ahead and submit your question. Also, after we finish the questions that we have on this here afternoon, we are going to kind of talk a little bit about like cultural things and holidays. And if you're just interested in learning a little bit more about what that looks like in a healthy manner, then stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wait on Coach Yams to go ahead and add on, and then we'll get started, y'all. Make sure y'all liking the page as well. Make sure you follow the page and share it on your other platforms. So that way we can reach as many people as possible who needs this assistance or who could benefit from this.
Hello, hello.
Hey, 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 hey.
Something weird is going on with my messenger.
I
Uh,
know. It's been doing this to me.
I couldn't find me, and I was like, but I have this account.
I don't know what's going on today. It's been very interesting for me too. So, okay. I don't know why it looks like this, why we're sitting in this type of form.
Type of form.
Let me see. Is there a way that we can turn the images side by side?
That I don't know. This got me. Maybe if I did it through a laptop, but maybe since I'm on I don't know the rules. You know I don't know the rules.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm going to play with it, but we're going to get the questions started because
Yeah.
We might as well get that done. Okay, so the last question we left off at.
And before we get there, hello
Uh-huh.
everybody. Did you do introductions? Did you say things?
I did say I
Okay.
kind of introduced you a little bit.
Okay. Well, I just want to say, hey, it's me, Yamana, Coach
Uh-huh.
Yam, from the Healing is Work coaching. And yeah, ready to get into these questions and talk
Okay.
about some things, some real conversations.
Yes. That's it. That's it. Okay. So I know the last question we talked about was success. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
like how you measure your success and how do you find a good match when it comes to life coaching.
Mm-hmm.
The next question was, what do you say to people when they ask if it's too late to start life coaching?
I would absolutely 100% say it's never too late to start life coaching. Life coaching is something that will give you skills and tools to navigate anything in life, honestly. It could be in business, but it's also going to challenge you and grow you personally. It could be in a personal arena, and it's still going to push you maybe spiritually. Like any way that you approach coaching, if you're putting in the effort, you're going to enhance your life, and it's never too late to start.
I like that. I like that. Because I think about it as long as you get up with breath in your lungs, then you
Yeah.
still have a chance to do some type of change. There's a
You're breathing
reason
and
you're still
living,
here.
do something with it. Yeah.
Yep. And even if it's to teach or to show someone something,
Hmm. Hmm.
sometimes and a lot of times people think you got to be a certified teacher to be able to teach something, but really sometimes just your life lessons you can actually teach or
Absolutely.
walk somebody through what that looks like in real life.
Yeah.
So,
Because a lot of times we feel like we're alone and like we're the only person that's going through a thing. And to have somebody that's been through that thing and seen it to the other side, it's so helpful.
yes,
It's so
yes,
helpful.
yes. Okay, I like that. So the next question was, what do you commonly find that many people struggle with in life?
Who? Well, life is so big and wide and broad, and everybody's struggles look different. But what I will say is that what seems to be a common theme is people think that the money or the better job or the new husband, wife, whoever, they think that those things are going to be the key to what makes them happy or have a more fulfilled life. And it can never come from outside.
Hmm.
It has to come from inside. So I'd say the common thing that people struggle with in life is living in the falseness that other things are going to make them happy when dealing with what you've got going on the inside, having honest conversations with yourself, going through difficulties and allowing yourself to feel them feelings and all that. That's what's going to get you to the real happiness. But people think it's money or the job or the spouse.
I like that. I like that because when you think about it, if we didn't even have any of these things, what could make you happy if you were just out there living like a caveman?
Yep,
What would make you happy? What would keep you here? What is your why? You know, a lot of times you hear about that. What's your why?
yep,
And that's what I think about when I, think about what is this long-term goal at the end of the day.
absolutely, absolutely. And the
Okay.
why is the thing that keeps you going because working towards the extra money or working towards that new job and putting in that's not going to like motivate you to keep pressing forward and striving towards that thing. Being motivated because you want to help improve other people's lives or because I don't know, you want to save the whales or whatever, that's going to drive you forward with more passion behind it than just going after some surface level thing that you think is going to remedy your problems in life.
Yes. I love it. Okay. So the next question was, what makes life coaching unique from any other profession that helps people?
Well, I think any profession that helps people is going to specialize in certain ways. Like physicians, they specialize in whatever they're working on inside or outside the body. Therapists, they have a very specialized education and skill set that they have to go through and certain state requirements and things to satisfy whatever governing bodies and that kind of thing. I will say life coaching seems to be like there is an organization, ICF, that's like the main people who certify life coaches, but outside of that, there's not a whole lot of governance in it. So I think there's a lot of flexibility in life coaching. But I think with that flexibility allows for endless possibility, honestly, because it's not watered down with other things that aren't helping you get to where you're trying to get to anyway. It's just the goals are set, the accountability is available, and you've got somebody to go on that journey with you. I don't know of any other professions that do that type of work. But I'm also 37, so I don't know all the professions. But it
Hey,
seems very unique to me in that regard, that you have
yeah,
the flexibility to shape a thing and help someone transform their lives with a range of modalities. Because life coaching has all kinds of certifications and all kinds of things that you can learn and apply. Um, so yeah, I think it's interesting
okay.
and unique.
Well, that was our last question that we had from 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So we can go ahead and get into it. I did tell them before you got on here, Coach. I told them about what we're kind of going to get into about like the cultural and kind of like holidays, what that looks like in a healthy manner when you're going through this healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can kind of just talk about that since we got Thanksgiving coming up here
Yeah,
soon.
we do.
Like
Thursday, y'all.
kind of expound on what does that look like, you being a life coach, how would you direct your clients that are having the struggle when it comes to like, interacting with family members and stuff like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, the holidays are a time of year, um, I guess culturally or, just having holiday spirit, the whole thing. And people gather together because that's what we do or that's what we've always done. And some people are dealing with deaths in the family. Some people are dealing with other personal losses in life. And then we always have the complexity of what family brings to your life, where you've grown up with these people, you've known them your whole life, and you're expected to show up as that person that you've always been since you were a child. And you're a grown ass woman or a grown ass man now. And uh, family can be complex, and it can be difficult to endure holiday dinners or whatever the case may be. And so just want to say nobody is alone in whatever you feel. Everybody's family's got a level of dysfunction. Sorry to break it to you guys. But to navigate it looks like being honest with what you're willing to give of yourself. No is a complete sentence. You do not have to go to the family function from the morning until the evening. You can pick a window of time that you're going to be there. You can have something else lined up to get yourself out of there and say, hey, well, I've got another commitment to get to. But not forcing yourself to do what is expected of you if it makes you uncomfortable, makes you unhappy, is what I stand on.
I like that. I like that. I could say also, when you think about some of the things that we like have been forced, and if you think about it, it's kind of like the culture makes it feel like you're unhealthy if you don't feel the need to attend certain things or be a part of,
You're
what
not
everybody else
conforming.
is doing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and then a lot of times people that have been like this, they already come up with this conclusion because they've been outcasted or they have been feeling as though they're not a part of the social group
Yep.
in the beginning. So it's like trying to find that balance and feeling that it's okay for me to interact, but then also I need to keep myself protected as well.
Yeah.
So, and I think that comes with time, because some people can be so traumatized that they don't want to have nothing to do with the situation,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just like coming freshly out of it. And
Yeah.
then you get a little bit better and you feel as though, okay, I can come around, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
not spend the whole, like you said, spend the whole day just being around, whatever this is. So I like how you put that. I
Yeah.
like how you put that.
And I know for me personally, Thanksgiving used to look like gathering together with several family members, and this is family, not even necessarily my direct blood connection of family, but blended family, because that happens in life. We are all mixed up with different families. But that looked like a big celebration for us, and it was like 10 of us, and we would get together. And every week, I coordinated the menu with my aunt, and we would make sure that we had all the things that we needed and things. And we did that for over a decade. And then people passed away, and complexities were folded into the mix of family because that happens, and that shifted. So for me, Thanksgiving hasn't been the same since that was my, like, I loved gathering and it being what that was. And it'll never be like that again. And that's okay. And so last year, I went Thanksgiving hopping. I went to three houses because I have friends who invited me to their houses to do Thanksgiving with their families. And so Thanksgiving can look like celebrating with friends who are family and extended family and coworkers if you happen to like them outside of work. It can look like whoever you want it to look like. Tomorrow is a pancakes and pajamas Friendsgiving brunch for me and some friends. So it can look like however you want it to look. And I want people to know and feel encouraged that it doesn't have to be what's been conventional, what's been traditional. Make it your own and enjoy it.
You know, I had to add also for because Christmas is coming up here too, so I
It
want to
is.
kind of bring in about Christmas a little bit. So since 2012, I've not really thought about Christmas in the traditional way that other people see it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been evolving through it, so I'm still kind of coming with my own conclusion on how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a lot of things that have been kind of culturally taught or things that are acceptable, they're influenced to keep us like in a like, I understand, bringing us together, that's a good thing, but sometimes it's not about the money. Like even now you look around and you see you have a whole bunch of extra stuff and it's like are we just doing this just to get more things, or are we doing this to spend time? Because if we're spending time with each other, we don't have to incorporate giving things. We should be giving things to each other throughout the year. So, and I look at it as like sometimes people use it as competition too. Like they try to see like who's going to get the most expensive gifts, or who's going to come out with
something to
more
prove.
things. Yeah, and so sometimes that could be unhealthy, when you think about it in that form. So
yeah, and I agree with that. I actually stopped subscribing to U.S. holidays years ago. I mean, like, it's been at least 5 years. I don't buy Christmas gifts. Thanksgiving I like because it's gathering together and it's eating with people that you care about. And I love food, so there's also that.
yeah.
But Christmas gifts, I don't have to do that. Do I love looking at Christmas trees and seeing the lights and hearing carolers? Absolutely. I love the Christmas spirit, but the gift exchanging of it all, I don't want nobody buying me something that I'm going to sit in the closet and re-gift next year. So I don't want to do that with other people. If I'm going to get you something, it's going to be something that is heartfelt, and I got it because I know that it's something that's going to make you happy.
Yes.
So, and yeah, Valentine's Day, I don't do any of it. I appreciate the time off work, but I don't do any of the things that go along with holidays.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like, if you think about it, it's kind of perpetuating the cycle if you're looking at it in a way for people that don't have much, because even though they're going through their struggles, it's like another reminder. Everybody around the world is reminding me of how much I don't have something, And I like, as I go through my evolution, I've realized like a lot of things that have been put in place to tear down subconsciously without us actually realizing it, and it being covered up by looking as though, this is actually benefiting you, but is it truly benefiting you? Shouldn't, like, people that have a lot, shouldn't they be willing to give to those that don't have as much, instead of just passing it around towards the people that are already doing well? So there's like a lot of different ways that you can still celebrate and intertwine with get your socialing in without having to deal with people maybe in the family that you don't feel as though they're in the same type of vibration as you, or it's like kind of toxic and not very comfortable for your own being. So that's what I've been looking at too. Don't feel bad about not being able to give to, oh, well, I did this for the last 20 years, so I'm gonna just keep on for another 20 years, doing the same thing.
You can decide right now, today, that you're doing things completely different.
Yep, exactly.
And like the way consumerism is set up and things, child, why is there a holiday every other month? Like, or every y'all not getting my money for something that you said that I need to go celebrate.
Yeah.
Flowers and teddy bears and candy. And it's just a vicious loop of consuming because somebody said so, is what it felt like to me. That's why I didn't care about it anymore.
So Malik, she said that she's going to be donating to the less fortunate. I love that.
I do too.
I love that. Did you want to get on here with us? Join the live? Because I can send you a link right now. If you decide to, just click on the link. I just sent it to you. So the next thing that I think we should probably talk about is, just like the family dynamics of when it comes to like, I feel like there's a lot of outside connections too that influence like the main dynamic. People aren't building their, like, the mother, the father, and the child. Those have been kind of diminishing because there's like been influence of people outside of that dynamic that have been kind of tearing it down. So like when it comes to our community, because you know the community is just built up of just families coming together. So I don't know, do you have any type of like thought about how people should go about that when it comes to like, okay, perfect example. If a child has had to break up their holidays with amongst their parents, let's say
Mm-hmm.
that, okay, this Christmas you're supposed to go with dad and
Mm-hmm.
you know, Thanksgiving with mom and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
How can people handle that and how can people deal with that in a appropriate way? That's the
Okay.
best way.
Um, the thing that I think that because I don't have kids, so I can only speak from what I know and what I've observed. I know people with kids, but I don't know. But what I have learned, like along the years and that kind of thing, kids are more resilient than people give them credit for. And kids, though they are small, they are still people, and they still deserve to have a conversation. And I think that it's important to be open with your kids about how things are unfolding. Far wise is like, this is the holiday over here, and this is the holiday over here, and this is kind of why we've decided to do it. How do you feel about it, kind of thing? Because I know for me, growing up culturally in a Black family, single mom home especially, my input, my thoughts, my feelings were not taken into consideration. And that has been something that I've had to unpack and navigate in my adult life. And so I think that the best way to handle it, aside from the adults being reasonable, fair, people who can have a conversation amongst themselves, then sitting down and having that conversation with the kids so that they can stay involved in this family process, is really important.
Yeah. Okay. I like that cuz it is true like I feel like even when I was growing up I had both of my parents but my voice was not heard. A lot of
Hmm.
times like you know it's like you do what I tell you to do and you're not considered and as
Children
an
should be
adult
seen and not heard.
yeah, and it affects you as an adult in a way because when it's all up to you, you're like, I'm so used to someone else controlling
Telling me
my
what to
narrative,
do.
you know,
Yep,
or even telling me what I'm gonna be or like
yep,
where I need to be focusing, what I need to focus on. I understand direction and I understand parents are meant to kind of guide us, but when they
absolutely.
don't allow you to be yourself or allow you to tap into your own, you
Hmm.
know, expression, it can be like feeling like you're like stuck in a cage, you know?
Yep,
And I think that's why a lot of times we deal with this psychological. This is happening all over the world, you know?
yep.
It's like we got to come up with a way to escape out of that so that the next generation doesn't repeat the same thing again. Because I've
Hmm.
even heard like older people, you ask them why did they do this to their child if it was done to their them when they were a child, and some of them don't know why. They just figured that this is what we do. This is why we continue to do. And it's like, when is that not being a good enough answer for
Yeah.
us? You know?
And I think that has been their answer because we have been gifted with ridiculous amounts of information because of the internet and all of that. And we are living in a different time. Like my mom was trying to survive and she was just doing what she learned from her previous upbringing. She was raised by her grandmother and then bringing that forward, but also being in survival mode with two kids. Uh, and you've never been the person who's had the bandwidth to deal with emotions or have conversations. You couldn't give that to me, even if you wanted to. You don't know how. And so that's why their answer is shrug emoji because they haven't had the space to be as reflective and to say, you know what? This shit don't really make sense. Let me try this instead. They were just going through the motions because they're just trying to get to the next and make sure that everything's handled. So it's frustrating and it has pissed me off. And I've had my share of anger over what people do and continue to perpetuate, but also everybody's doing the best they can, even if it don't seem like it.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I think it's the compassion thing. Like that's what those of us that see the cycle, we have to show compassion to what has already occurred, because a lot of things, like you said, that survival mode is like we're coming out of, as a culture, we're coming out of survival mode and
Yeah.
being like, it's like we're hitting the ground running. So, and then sometimes you don't know what direction, so you're running into stuff, and you know, your lane is not always straight and narrow. Sometimes you got to hit the curve. Sometimes you got to, you know, you got a couple of different things that are in the road. So you got
take a
to maneuver
detour
around those things, you know, and it's like a lot of people we're still in a generation where there's like first generational people going to college. Like that means that no one in their family has ever went any further in education than that. And this is 2020, almost
the
20.
year of our Lord 2022. We're about to be into 2023 real quick.
Yeah.
And still very much living like we're in the 60s.
It's just very interesting to me about, you know, how is the dynamic has been in our culture for so long. And it's like we had to come together to figure out how to help each other in this, because at the end of the day, that's what really we need to be able to connect together, but still be able to be comfortable in that way. So okay, well, I think this was a good session, kind of talking about this. I feel like we're going to just, from this point, kind of go with our own topic and kind of bring that forward. And then we'll let you guys know if anybody's watching this and you want to be a part of it, or you want to join the live chat. Just make sure that you comment or leave us something on the link that we still have posted for the questions.
Yeah, I was going to say, or put it in the questions link and we'll see it.
Yep, and we'll be able to contact you through the email. Okay, so
I think it'd also be good to, if anybody has an idea on something that they'd like to hear us talk about, you could also submit question through the question form or put it in the comments. And we might do a poll in the future, get a couple of options on the table, see what y'all want to hear about. This is open. This is all about having honest conversations.
That's it.
And living a better life.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and get off of here. Y'all can make sure that you check out both of our pages. Make sure you're following them. Make sure you sending all these videos around. We just want it to go viral. Okay.
Share it with people that you know, that you love, that you like enough to say, hey, here's some extra information that can make your life a little better. Share. Hashtag replay in the comments if you're joining us after the live. We still read the comments. We still want to know what you think and feel.
Yes. And YouTube, we got y'all. We gonna still be posting the replay. So make sure y'all hit the likes, comment, and subscribe button as well if you're coming from YouTube. All right. Sending y'all much peace and love. Deuces.